After about a month or so now, 343 has finally combed through all of our feedback from the first technical preview and is now sharing their response. Now, they didn't tell us every little thing that they are changing, simply because there's too much to cover, and likewise, I'm not going to cover everything in the article in super detail, just what I think are the most important changes. If you want to read the full article and see all the changes they're making, then I'll link it in the description below. But first off, here we go. Number 1, people seem to like the outline colours for friend or foe, and a suggestion for an auto sprint feature and for us to change the colour of the damage system and the marks system independently was asked. 343 agrees and will add these features post-launch. By the way, expect to hear the phrase post-launch a lot in this article. Number 2, people loved the music, agreed, and the weapons sounded powerful and added to the experience, agreed. However, some weapons felt a little too distant from their legacy sounds. The example given here is the Needler. Fans suggest it should sound more crystalline and glassy. This I agree with. As much as I loved the Needler in the flight and the sort of rapid fire SMG-ness, it was missing that unique underlayer of sound that really made its needles sound deadly. 343 agrees, and they will change the Needler's sound along with the primary fire of the plasma pistol and beefing up the hammer. Now, I didn't use the plasma pistol much, but its primary fire did sound a bit wimpy and kind of generic to me, and the hammer just sounded off to me. It needs to have that big bassy whoosh sound to it to really emphasise that it's a gravity hammer. Work in progress versions of these new sounds will be in the next preview, and I look forward to hearing them. Another point of feedback was having the ability to tone down the voices you hear in multiplayer, which I think is a good suggestion, because in the game you would have your Spartan teammates talking to you, making callouts and all that. You had the announcer, and you had your AI talking to you, which would really kind of kill the sort of zen calmness between each little firefight in a match. So having the ability to tone down how much they talk is a great idea, and again, one they will add post-launch. Here we go, Battle Pass and challenges. People love the idea of the permanent Battle Pass, yes. And here's what they have to say about XP through challenges only. From a player perspective, we heard the request to earn XP per match outside of the challenges, as well as to have XP boost timers only count down while in a match. One of the items that wasn't fully there in the tech preview was our daily challenge model that provides challenges along the lines of play X number of games that will repeat throughout the day. These challenges are replaced after completion and provide a regular XP drop for your battle pass just for playing matches and having fun during your sessions with Halo Infinite. The weekly challenges are where you will see more specific challenges that you might recognise from other games. For example, get 10 kills with a battle rifle. There's significantly greater depth with the weekly challenges than you saw in the tech preview that we will go through in the future. As for the XP boost timers counting down while out of a match, we will be looking at improving this experience post-launch. Progression is an area that we will continue to improve and grow over time, and we'll have even more to share here later this month. Okay, sounds good, but I don't know if I'm understanding this correctly, but this is how I'm interpreting this. There should always be a complete X number of games challenge available to you, and the more focused get X number of sniper kills, for example, will be weekly challenges only. Okay, sounds good, and is essentially a way of getting XP per match to an extent, and if you want to go out your way and use specific weapons to get more XP, that's available to you, but only as weekly challenges. They won't be daily challenges. But I'm just a little worried, because here's a wee scenario, right? You complete a challenge, which is complete a match, pretty easy, but the one that takes its place is complete 5 matches. Now what if I only have time for another 3 matches that day because I'm busy? And by the time I get on again tomorrow, that challenge will be refreshed and replaced with a brand new challenge with no progress on it. That means those 3 matches I can play are practically pointless from a progression point of view. I'll still have fun, but again I'm losing out of time and progression. That's if it happens that way. If there is just a complete a match challenge that is always going to consistently be there after every time I complete one, alongside random other ones, like complete 5 matches, then that's not a problem. If it works like that, then I'm fine with that. That means every match feels worth it. But if it works like the little scenario I came up with, then that's a problem for people who are short on time. And another issue was the double XP booster timers would tick down even when you're not in a match. And again, this is something they'll look into post-launch, which in other words means hold on to your boosters for a while. That's what I'll be doing anyway. Like, I'll wait and see how stable and quick the servers are before I activate any. Like, I don't want to activate an XP booster and then the servers are all buggy and I only get one match out of it and it's just practically wasted. Number 4, people liked the bots but felt that they were a bit too predictable and the Spartan difficulty wasn't hard enough. Agreed, they will tweak the bots for launch. Number 5, weapon drills were fun, but players would like to have a version without a timer and a way to swap weapon drills more easily. I agree, the time limit in the drills was fun if I was hunting for a high score, but an actual firing range that I can just stay in for ages to work on my accuracy would be nice. And these things will be addressed when? That's right, post-launch. Number 6, combat sensor, or as we've been calling it for years and years, and 343 are just being difficult because it's 343, the motion sensor, or radar. The radar will be fixed, and it will work as it has always worked, showing all movement except crouch walking. And it should be like this in the next tech preview, which is fantastic news. Thank you 343. Number 7, personal AI. Players want a way to customize the AI body shape separate from the voice, and a way to preview the voice in the customization screen instead of only hearing them in-game. 343 will do this. The voice preview should be in the next tech preview, and customization will be launch and beyond. Number 8, medals. Players said the medals looked a little bland and generic and sort of homogeneous. 343 have redesigned them, and here's a little before and after image that they shared with us. In terms of shapes, massive improvement. Still a wee bit worried about the colours though. They don't show it here, but I'm hoping that as you progress through the multi-kill medals, like double kill, triple kill, overkill, etc., that they progressively change colour and don't just stay the same sort of red and gold. We won't see these medals in the next tech preview, but they are pushing to get them for launch. I mean, honestly, if they came in a patch a week after launch, that's fine. Just make sure the campaign and multiplayer works at launch, 343. Like, focus on that. I'd rather have that than medals. Number 9, friend or foe outline. Players were confused by the outline as it made it difficult to tell how much shield an enemy had left. Agreed, they are fixing this. And players want to see teammates' gamer tag or service tag above their head as a way of identifying their teammates easier. This was supposed to be in the tech preview, but it was bugged, and it should be there for launch. Number 10, players want more sensitivity controls. 343 has given us that. Number 11, weapons. Everyone loved the weapons, but felt that the sniper and the skewer were a bit difficult to use. I totally agree with this. The sniper just felt so heavy. Like, I felt like the captain of an oil tanker trying to bloody turn it. Improvements to sensitivity should hopefully fix this, and feedback on the hammer, whether it was too slow or not, was split down the middle, so they haven't touched the hammer at all, but they're still going to closely monitor our feedback on it as the game goes on. Again, I'm still splitting the hammer. I liked how it took a wee while to swing it, like there was more setup and took more skill to use, instead of it just being a spam weapon. But at the same time, some enemies could double melee you in the time it takes for you to get one swing. It's a difficult choice. I don't know what they should do. But I'm interested to see how the new hammer affects Grifball. That's what I'm looking forward to, once they finally add Grifball. Number 12, player movement. Nothing big here really, except that the screen shake was a bit much. 343 is going to fix that. Number 13, equipment. Everything was good, but players felt that the drop wall was a bit too slow to deploy. But I like 343's response here, as it echoes what I thought about the drop wall. So the drop wall is a setup item, where you activate it before a fight. it shouldn't be a reactionary item like Armor Lock, where you just jump into a fight, start to lose, and then use it and you're shielded. But they are going to reduce its drop time and monitor it closely and see how that change has affected it. Number 14, the heads-up display. Players felt it was too small and lacked information, specifically in terms of grenade types and how many grenades you had. 343 will fix this. Full heads-up display customization is something they're looking into, but it won't be there for launch. So those cool fan mock-ups that made the heads-up display look more, well, Halo, won't happen for a while. But 343 has seen those fan mock-ups, and they have impacted how they will allow customization in the future. So good job if you were one of those people that made those mock-ups and made the HUDs look more like Reach or Halo 3. Every one of those that I've seen looks really good, and I'm glad it is affecting how 343 is going to make us customize them and kind of showing what 343 should aim for. And finally, number 15, menus. Players complained about the flow of the menus and how certain things wouldn't equip. Agreed, this is something I complained about. There was too much menu diving that didn't make sense and equip options that just felt odd to me. 343 has seen this feedback, they agree with it, and will fix it post-launch. Yep, so the menu we have is the menu we will have at launch. Not the worst news, but it's a bit disappointing. Overall, I'm happy with the issues that they are addressing, and in fact, they have practically addressed every issue I made in my hour-long feedback video. I'm glad 343 are actually listening to us and not just stuck in their ways, thinking that just because they built the game that they know best. This open and honest discussion around feedback is reassuring, in terms of multiplayer at least. Last thing they say is that the next preview will include 4v4 and big team battle, and are asking fans to make sure that they're signed up for the next preview, which gives me hope that the next one will be pretty soon, so make sure you sign up. But that's it for the video. Do you agree with 343's feedback changes? Is there something they didn't address that they think that they should? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.